We are going to be using the Blue Mishkan Tefillah book, which is, make sure it says weekdays and festivals on it. A Reformed Siddur, weekdays and festivals. When we do begin, we will be beginning on page 257. We have just completed Passover, which was just last week. And now we're on, right, Jeff?
We're on, yes.
Okay, I'm Cantor Margaret Bruner, and this is Temple Beth Salinas. And this is a Yom HaShoah observance service. Holocaust Remembrance Day is observed in many synagogues worldwide, beginning in the evening of Sunday, and Holocaust Remembrance Day is commemorated on this year on Monday. And as usual, Jewish holidays begin in the evening. This is a very intimate service. Then there's a beautiful service that was written in our Reform prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah for weekdays and festivals. It begins on page 257, and the Yom HaShoah observance has been part of the Jewish liturgy since the Shoah. This is a service that we used to do annually at Temple Bethel. We have not done it annually because of COVID and other interruptions. This is definitely the first service that we've done here in a long time. So I felt that it was very timely that we needed to do it, and I wanted to tie this year's Yom HaShoah service to the many tragedies and atrocities that are occurring, unfortunately, right now in Israel, in Gaza, in Ukraine. And I've asked my dear friends and interfaith clergy colleagues to join me, and we're so honored to have Reverend Andy Roush of Northminster Presbyterian Church here participating, Pastor Steve Lundeen of that church, First United Methodist Church of Salinas, and his wife Carla, who is also now the pastor at the First United Methodist Church in Carmel. Is that right? Carmel is kind of the Wayfarer?
Yes.
Church of the Wayfarer, which is a beautiful church if you've ever been there. And also members of the Ritual Committee and the Temple Board will also be helping in our candle lighting. And you see on the table here the traditional Shoah candles. There are 6, each candle representing 1 million souls that were lost. And you'll see that this year on that very end, the blue candle is a special candle that I woven into the service, candle 7. And we hope that you will participate. After the people light the candles, they will ask you to respond by saying, where's my candle lighting? By saying, we shall not forget. Thank you. And so the other thing that I did, which is also going to happen as part of the candle lighting, which happens very early in the service, is I am going to be reading aloud names of victims of the tragedy in Gaza. I'm going to be intermingling names of not just Jews, but of all citizens of the world, World Central Kitchen workers, just some names of Israeli citizens and citizens of the kibbutzim that were killed as from the tragedy. And so in this way we will honor, I'm hoping to have the service in this way reach a more universalist, broader meaning. So we begin on page 257. We begin with silence. The silence of death, the silence after destruction. There are times when songs falter, when darkness fills life, when martyrdom becomes a constellation of faith against the unrelieved black of space about us. There are no words to reach beyond the edge of night, no messenger to tell the full tale. There is only silence. The silence of Job, the silence of the 6 million, the silence of memory. Let us remember them as we link our silences. Page 258. Every Jewish holy day is diminished by our collective grief about the October 7th massacre and kidnappings, the ongoing lack of success in redeeming all of our hostages, and the ongoing anti-Semitism all over America and throughout Europe. During Hanukkah, we prayed the light of the candles would illumine the world and inspire peace and the end to war. During Passover, we remember the plagues and that God does not take joy in the suffering of any of God's children, and that we symbolically lessen our joy by taking wine from our goblets, remembering the innocent Egyptians of ancient times and the innocent Gazans and Palestinians suffering today. And on this day of remembrance of the slaughtering of 6 million of men, women, and children of all ages during the Holocaust, we remember our pledge, never again. And here we are, never again is now. Let us not only pray for their souls, but in their name, take the kinds of action needed to turn the world right again. Let us be resolute and full of courage. I invite our first candle lighter, Carla Lundeen, to light the first candle. We kindle these lights in memory of the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. May the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. Zichronam livracha.
We light candle 1 in memory of the helpless infants, children, and teenagers who were cut down like young trees before their time, before they had a chance to experience life.
We shall not forget.
Along Shamriz, Yotam Chayim, Samer Talalka. I invite up our second candle lighter. Oh, here it is. Did I assign the candle to? That's the only one I did not assign. Oh, yes, please, tell me your name again.
Michelle, I would like to do candle 2.
Wonderful. Please just come up and light, Michelle, and I'll do the reading. Michelle is a child of Holocaust survivors, is that correct?
Yes.
So you are one child of Holocaust survivors here today, so thank you for coming.
I'm third generation Holocaust survivor, and my grandparents survived, and I had 4 aunts and uncles that survived, and everyone else was killed.
We're honored to have you today, Michelle.
And thank you for having me life in memory.
Michelle lights candle 2 in memory of the LGBTQ community, the Gypsies, centers. We shall
We shall not forget.
It's got to be, you got it. Okay.
I just want to make sure that one.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Nancy Makita, past president of Temple Bethel, member of the ritual committee, will be lighting candle 3.
In memory of all mothers and fathers who were cruelly separated from their families.
We shall not forget.
You just push hard.
So you kind of split it up like that. There we go.
I prefer the matches.
She's rough, but it's in my heart. Ashri Alehava, Shemara, Basitre Levavot. Ashri Alehava, Sheyaru. Anna Schumacher, a board member, will light candle 4.
In memory of all the scholars, teachers, and rabbis who were seized before us.
We shall not forget. Thank you, Anna. Marvin Cohen, Temple Board member, will light candle 5.
In memory of the heroes of the resistance who fought the Nazis, so few against so many, and the martyrs who gave their lives to help their brothers and sisters under the Nazis, we shall not forget.
Six Israeli citizens who were killed on October 7th from Nir Oz kibbutz and kibbutz Be'elim. Maya Goren, Ronan Engel, Eliyahu Margalit, Aryeh Zolonovich, Ofra Kedar, Guy Iluz. And candle 6 will be lighted by Andy Roush.
In memory of those who perished so cruelly on October 7th, 2023, and all those who died since that start of that brutal Israel-Hamas war, I light this candle for the future of diplomacy that has allowed all genocides and wars to continue, whether they are the extermination of the Native American peoples, the extermination of the Armenians by the Turks of the Ottoman Empire in the 19th century, the genocide in Cambodia in the 1970s. In 1994, there were mass killings in Rwanda and killings in the Darfur region of Sudan, and also what has now happened at the hands of Putin, the lives lost in Ukraine. We
shall not forget.
And before we light candle 7, which is a special candle for this evening, I'm calling it the Candle of Hope, and I've asked Steve Lundeen to read it. I'd like to recite the names of the World Central Kitchen 7 aid workers who were killed in an Israeli military strike in Gaza. Sa'afiden Isam Ayad Abuta'a, Leazorami Nonazomi Francom, Damien Sobal, Jacob Flickinger, John Chapman, Jim Henderson, and James Kirby. We shall not forget them.
Tonight we light a candle of hope, the 7th candle that the world community will find ways to intervene in situations where ethnic or economic tensions are threatening to turn murderous. May there be no more days of destruction, food insecurity, days of catastrophe anywhere in the world. Never again.
Please join me in a responsive reading on page 260. Page 260. This is a beautiful poem by the Jewish Italian poet Primo Levi, and you will read the indented paragraph in the middle. You who live secure in your warm houses, who return at evening to find hot food and friendly faces,
Sincere brothers and hands, who labors in mud,
who knows
no peace, who fights for a crust of bread, who dies in a yes or a no. Consider whether this is a woman without hair or name,
with no more strength to remember her
eyes empty and cold, as a frog in winter.
Consider that this has been you, that this has been. I commend these words to you. Engrave them on your hearts. When you are in your house, when you walk on your way, when you go to bed, and when you rise. Repeat them to your children. Or may your house crumble, disease render you powerless. Your offspring avert their faces from you. Page 262. Anna, would you read for us A Little Garden?
Sure. What page?
Page 262, the very top.
Just that one. A little garden, fragrant and full of roses. The path is narrow, and a little boy walks along it. A little boy, a sweet boy, like the growing blossoms. When the blossoms come to bloom, the little boy will be no more.
Sharon, would you like to read for us on page 263? You can pick one of those readings.
We would assemble in the darkness. To light a candle there, or even a match, would have brought immediate disaster upon us. We spoke about matters of the spirit and eternal questions about God, about Jews in the world, about the eternity of Israel. In the midst of the darkness, I sensed light in the unlit room, the light of Torah.
And now you may read silently to yourselves, beginning on page 264 and 265. I believe with perfect faith in the Messiah's coming. Despite it all, I still believe. I believe with perfect faith in the Messiah coming, even though he is late. Elie Wiesel. Please rise, page 266. Please rise for El Maleh Rachamim. במעלות כראשים ותורים, כזר רקיע מזהירים. נשמות 6 מיליון אחינו ואחיותינו שנהרגו על קידוש השם, בעל הרחמים יסתירים בסתר כנפיו לעולמים. ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם, אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר fully compassionate God on high, to our 6 million brothers and sisters murdered because they were Jews, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven, source of mercy. Forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings. Secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. They will rest in peace, and let us say,
Amen.
And on page 269, please join me in the Kaddish of the Yom HaShoah, the Shoah Kaddish, written by Eli Wiesel. Yit Gadal, Auschwitz, V'yit Kadash, Lodz, Shemeh Rabbah, Ponar, B'ma'al divrach hirutei, Babiyar, V'yamlich malchutei, Maidanik, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, Birkenau, U'v'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael, Kovno, Ba'agala u'v'zman karim, Yanauska, Ve'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olnei Olaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach Theresienstadt. Ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam Buchenwald. Ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar Treblinka. Ve'yithalel ve'yithalal Vilna. Shemei Kudisha Barichu Bergen-Belsen. Le'ela Mulhausen, min kol birchata v'shirata, dacha, tushvachata v'nechemata, Minsk, da'amiran ve'alma, Warsaw, ve'imru, Amen, Yehi shlama urava min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, Amen. Exalted and hallowed by God's great name in the world which God created according to plan, may God's majesty be revealed in the days of our lifetime, and the life of all Israel, speedily, imminently, to which we say, Amen. Blessed be God's great name to all eternity. Blessed, praised, honored, exalted, extolled, glorified, adored, and lauded be the name of the Holy Blessed One, beyond all earthly words and songs of blessing, praise and comfort, to which we say, Amen. May there be abundant peace from heaven and life for us and all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. This concludes our service. We begin in silence, we end in silence. Thank you so much for commemorating this day with us here at Temple Bethel.